Since Oldschool Runescape's release in 2013, it has been the home of half the RuneScape player base, engaging in its own game by a small, dedicated team at Jagex. So far in the history, Oldschool is among the most popular games streamed on Twitch. The Deadman tournament was broadcasted live from a popular gaming convention. Hundreds of thousands of dollars have been raised for charity through in-game donations and Twitch streaming. Updates purely decided by the community and memories have been made for life. Though this nostalgic yet new gaming experience had its major success, it has had a fairly long and complicated history. This video will mainly focus on the main events that happened before and led up to the release of Oldschool Runescape in February 2013. Our adventure begins all the way back to April 10th of 2011, as a small little event in history where a person using the nickname ModVault, not being a part of Jagex, decided to create a RuneScape private server which was supposed to be a 2007 RuneScape remake. Like most private servers, this did not gain any major attention for a fairly long time. However, RuneScape was at this time facing a danger of getting close on any game where developing new armor and monsters would be impossible without creating dead content on release. The reason for this was that due to the way the game worked, it had already reached max level gear and had already used every perspective it could within the content. On June 10th of 2011, RuneFest was hosted in London for the second time ever. Here, developers Mod Chris L and Moderathi addressed this potential issue and talked to the players about the combat system and suggested improvements to solve the issues RuneScape was facing. From there, Jagex started to plan and develop an overhaul of the combat system. On 11th of May 2012, ModMark posted an article that for the first time announced the evolution of combat, and on June 26th of the same year, the EOC beta went live for over 50,000 active players. The following 4 months went into beta testing with a lot of mixed feedback. A lot of players felt unhappy with the update, feeling it was harder to learn, new players would feel confused, it would break the PKing, and overall it would be a messy update. Though, Jagex kept improving the combat system based on player feedback from the players who tested the EOC in the beta. Even with forums and fan sites heavily occupied with numerous players threatening to quit the game and cancel their subscription, the update still went through as Jagex believed it was necessary for the future of the game. In July 2012, the private server that had been in development since 2011, at this time called 2006scape, started blowing up. The main motivation was the feeling of nostalgia, and the ones who did not feel the EOC would live up to their standards would jump onto the bandwagon of the server. Already at this point and the following months, major interest sparked for the server, with the owners gained thousands of dollars in donations from interested fans. Some players were skeptical to its legitimacy, as previous beta tests had failed, and some people believed the owner was too young and too little experienced to run his own server, which for these reasons also started theories about the donations being a massive scam. Discussions of the private server even appeared on the official RuneScape forums despite being against the rules, causing the forum moderators to take down several threads. On 31st of August 2012, ModP stated that the EOC would be released in November the same year, assuming the update was ready, and on 20th of November 2012, 6 months after first announcing it, the evolution of combat was released to the game. The player number did significantly drop as both players and Jagex did expect. Though the leaving players mainly consisted of PKers, purists, and others who did not like the update, the average number of players online dropped in the thousands, and the then CEO ModMMG did admit that they lost paying members after the EOC release. The community kept on giving feedback to the major update, claiming a lot of it still did not work as expected, that PKing was no longer active, and so on. Of course, not everyone was as skeptical to the update, as a great number of players felt the new combat system made the game more exciting, allowing more tactical choices for doing PVM or skilling. But the negatives of the EOC could not be ignored, and several of the players who had left the game felt the 2006scape server would be a way to keep playing their preferred era of RuneScape. With the incredible number of 400,000 pre-registrations following their website, it was already deemed a massive success despite being illegal, which eventually caused Jagex to take legal action. On January 2nd, 2013, ModVault replaced the 2006scape website with a message saying the game would never be released to avoid copyright infringement, a process that supposedly already had been going on for several months at this time. The RuneScape community went crazy over this. Several players felt scammed as the donation money towards the server was not returned to them, and believed the entire project was one big well thought out scam, like some players had suggested just 5 months earlier. However, that same day, Mudweth posted a happy legal new year to a number of people whose names were used as moderators' names on the illegal private server, suggesting Jagex had successfully taken legal action against 2006scape, closing it down once and for all. On January 10th of 2013, YouTuber Third H Film created a petition asking Jagex to release a few servers with the old combat system to it, opening up the idea of creating a petition to get heard by Jagex. The main aim was to make sure Jagex was aware of the wishes to bring back an older version of the game. On January 22nd of the same year, ex-CEO Mark Gerhardt, ModMG, posted an article on the website talking about what was going to happen and what was going on in 2013. Here he talks about the evolution of combat and how we realized the update needed more feedback before its release, and even apologized to the ones who did not feel it was easy to go from the old system to the EOC. He did here, like before, point out how the combat update is necessary and better for the game in the long run. In response, YouTuber SoRect created a video and petition just 2 days later on January 24th, encouraging his viewers to sign his petition to bring back the old RuneScape servers from the 2006 era. With the players who had been engaged in 2006scape just a month earlier, the petition quickly gained signatures and had over 38,000 signatures by January 28th. On the 1st of February, lead developer ModMar created a post on the RuneScape forums addressing the major engagement to open the new game for the 2006 version of the game, saying they are looking into the player feedback and listening to their wishes. On the weekend of February 8th, Jagex was able to locate an old backup file in their system dating back to 10th of August 2007. After testing this server throughout the week, it was clear that the backup file was fully playable, and thus on February 15th the poll to release Oldschool Runescape was created, saying they will release the game if the poll gained over 50,000 votes. Just 3 days later, on February 18th, Jagex was pleased to announce that the Oldschool Runescape servers would open as soon as possible, having in just 3 days gained over 160,000 votes, meaning the servers would open up with a small team doing basic maintenance on the servers. As promised, on February 22nd, 2013, with the poll still gaining votes, we saw the opening of Oldschool Runescape. On March 1st, 2013, the poll closed with an incredible number of 449,351 votes, giving the community several perks to create the best possible game it could be for the ones who prefer nostalgia or the old combat system. And that is pretty much how Oldschool Runescape came to be. If you feel like I forgot to mention something, please let me know in the comment section below. My name is WillMissit, and I'll see you guys later.